Reactions to North Carolina House Bill 2 are far-reaching.
And construction projects on campus benefit students. I'm Brianna Goins.
And I'm Terrence Jeffries. You're watching Carolina News Today. North Carolina's Attorney General says his office will not defend the constitutionality of a bill on transgender use of bathrooms. House Bill 2 blocks transgender people from using the bathroom of the gender they identify with. Instead, the law requires government agencies and public school bathrooms be used based only on biological sex. The bill was passed by the General Assembly and signed by Governor Pat McCrory. It also overrides the ability of cities and towns to require more protection against discrimination in the private sector. State Attorney General Roy Cooper is challenging McCrory to be the state's next governor, and he says the law is discriminatory. He says McCrory should have followed the example of another Southern governor.
Conservative Republican Governor Nathan Deal of Georgia was recently presented with a discrimination law passed by his legislature. He saw what happened in the state of Indiana when that state passed laws that discriminate. He saw that Indiana lost business and millions of dollars in revenue, and everyday working people there were hurt. Governor Deal didn't want that for his state. He just stepped up yesterday and vetoed this law that would have allowed discrimination in Georgia, because he knew that it would hurt Georgia's economy. Our governor should have done the same thing and vetoed House Bill 2, but he did not.
Last week, we introduced you to the new UNC System President, Margaret Spellings. She has declined to comment on House Bill 2, which also omits sexual orientation as a class protected from discrimination by private entities. Meanwhile, across the state, a number of private colleges have released statements about the passing of this Public Facilities Privacy and Security Act will impact their campuses. The trend in statements they provided to the organization Campus Pride is that they are already dedicated to making sure their campuses are inclusive and diverse. Some of the schools have already have single occupancy bathrooms that are universal for all student use. Another impact of the law is that it prevents people from suing in state court if they think they have been discriminated against, whether they are in protected category or not.
Dr. Barry O'Brien has been named Dean of the School of Business here at UNCP. Dr. O'Brien has been working in higher education for more than 38 years. He graduated from UNC Pembroke in 1975. Chancellor Robin Cummings is excited to see an alumnus return to the campus in a leadership position. Dr. O'Brien was the Dean of the School of Business at Francis Marion University for 14 years.
This month, we've been talking a lot about renovations happening to the University Center and the completion of the outdoor patio in the newest addition. This public space is designed to be like an outdoor version of the UC Mall. A new bike park provides more parking for your ride than the previous single rack. Along with this, there are 6 weather-protected electrical outlets that have been added. The patio is available for student organizations to reserve through the facilities reservation system. Total cost, about $235,000.
Construction is underway for the new Student Health Services building. The area is located on the service road between Braves Drive and University Road, near Courtyard Apartments. The university is asking for all pedestrian traffic to stay on the sidewalk leading from University Road to Braves Drive. Pedestrians are not permitted in the roadway, nor in the construction zone. The delivery service road is closed to all vehicle traffic as well.
The Pembroke mayor's race is still not decided. Alan Dial has filed a protest against the ballots of 11 people he says don't live within town limits. Dial had won the election in November by 11 votes, but there was a re-election ordered by the state after evidence of misconduct. Dial lost to Greg Cummings in the March do-over by 10 votes.
The Piedmont natural gas pipeline located in Pembroke is being inspected in the next 3 weeks. The company is warning that these inspections may cause the pipeline to flare up, accompanied by a loud noise and the smell of natural gas, but they say it should not be a cause for concern. Piedmont Natural Gas is working with local fire departments to manage and monitor the process.
Curious as to what's going on around campus? Good thing we have producer Crystal Dean to tell us about some of the music-themed events that are going on in the coming weeks.
Looking to do something fun but don't think there's anything cool on campus? Get ready for this week at UNCP. The Department of Music has a series of free concerts this week. That's right, I said free. The semester is winding down, and that means Moore Hall is going into high gear. On Thursday, March 31st, Trevor Saint takes the stage as part of the Guest Artist Recital Series. The show starts at 7:30. On Friday, senior Fabian Griffith, he of the powerful baritone singing voice, steps on stage one last time for his senior recital. Seriously, folks, this guy has an amazing voice, and there's no excuse for not stopping by Moore Hall at 7:30 and listening. On the heels of last week's tuba euphonium concert, there's more low brass at Moore Hall. Senior Aaron Brown's euphonium recital is Saturday at 4 o'clock. You could take a date, enjoy the show, and still have time for dinner. You'll look super sophisticated and cultured. Senior recitals continue on Monday in Moore Hall. Brian Leonard shows his skills on the horn. It's the culmination of his years of study at UNCP. Show him some support and check it out. He'll take the stage at 7:30. The next show I'll tell you about is a big one, the Jazz Combos recital on Tuesday. These bands are show-winging. Honestly, these musicians play with such passion and fire, so do yourself a favor and get to Moore Hall at 7:30. Tell them Crystal sent you. Finally, Broadway is coming to GPAC on May 3rd as the road company of Once, the musical, takes the stage. Based on the hit indie film, Once is filled with great songs and the cast will blow you away with their performances. This event isn't free, but tickets for students are only $10 for a Broadway show, so there's no excuse to miss it. The show starts at 7:30. And that's what's going on this week at UNCP. If you're looking for more events, go to calendar.uncp.edu and check out all the activities happening on campus. Until next time, I'm Crystal Dean for This Week at UNCP. You be you, I'll be me.
Braves softball ends their 9-game losing streak with a successful road trip.
And the UNCP community attends an event that gives others a chance to play ball.
This and more in sports when we come back.
Having won 8 out of their last 9 games, Braves baseball looked for revenge against a Wingate team who clobbered them earlier in the season 11-3. 5 Braves batters had 3 or more hits in the contest, including Stabel Ali-Mansaba, who led the team with 4 hits. The Braves had hot bats, collecting 17 runs on 23 hits to slaughter the Bulldogs 17-2. The Braves take a 3-game win streak back home where they play USC Aiken this weekend. Braves softball ended their 9-game losing streak with the sweep at Winston-Salem and showed even more improvement at Barton with 10 runs on 17 hits this week. Jamie Johnson led the squad with a .500 average, 2 RBIs, and a run scored. With Johnson's offense and help from Abby Walters, who pitched 3 innings, the Braves squeezed out a 6-4 win. After splitting their doubleheader, the Braves remain at home for the next 12 games, starting with the conference doubleheader against Augusta. Over the weekend, UNCP track and field had great results at Wingate. The men's 4x1500-meter relay team set a school record with a time of 17 minutes and 16 seconds, placing 9th. Michael Powell took a first-place finish in the 400-meter dash with a time of 55.82. Angelica McNair finished second in the 400-meter dash, and freshman Javon Graham also had a second-place finish in the 110 hurdles. Brett Goodwin finished top 5 in both the 200 and 400-meter dash, respectively, and Anya Day finished second in the hammer throw with a toss of 43.22 meters. Next up, the Braves meet High Point University. Sports are a way for people to express their competitive side in hopes of going home a winner. But for those involved in this year's sports empowerment program, something more meaningful than a number in the win column was offered. CNT's Luke Nelson tells us about the kids' personal victories.
UNCP community members gathered at Lumbee Field for a softball game in the 2nd annual Sports Empowerment Program, hosted by the Office of Community and Civic Engagement. Purnell Sweat and Lumberton High School's exceptional children classes were invited to take part in this day of fun. Co-founder of the event, Madison Wilcox, hopes this program can bring equality to the participants in the future.
We just want everybody to keep in mind to be adaptable, be flexible, and be inclusive in your everyday life, your everyday interactions, and treat everybody just as they are equal, not based on their disability, but based on their personality and their uniqueness as a person.
This is the first year that volunteer participants were able to be helpers for the event. Assistant Director for the Office of Community and Civic Engagement, Sandy Jacobs, says this event helps them adapt to their social situations.
I think it covers their social domain. You know, obviously they're getting some physical fitness doing this, and I think it just builds confidence and self-esteem with them being able to participate and just have a great time.
With inclusion being the ultimate goal of the event, organizers hope that students of all ability levels can work together with volunteers to give them the joy that they deserve. A volunteer at the event, Natural Breeden, spoke about her objective of the event.
Even though this might be with you or this might be with you, all of us are the same people. So actually everybody just getting together, having a good time, encouraging each other, of course, because they just love for somebody to say good job and they're just smiling and happy.
After finishing an inning of softball, all participants received their awards for their participation with a gold medal, a gift bag, and a walk through the victory tunnel aligned with the UNCP community, cheering each participant on as they passed. Co-founder Ian Fennell hopes to see the program expand to younger students in the future.
So maybe in a few years have Fairmont and Red Springs High School all out here at the same time. Maybe even have a few middle schools come out and just, you know, to get larger and be more, like I said, just be a larger event.
That's it for CNT Sports. The Braves are in action this weekend, but Division I's March Madness is bringing it down to the wire with the Final Four games airing on Friday and Saturday. We hope you enjoy. Back to the studio.
Thanks, Dolphus, and that's all for this episode of Carolina News Today.
Don't forget to check us out on the web at carolinanewstoday.com. We'll see you next week.